I'm very excited that we are going to get a double page layout done today. And not only a double page layout, but we are also going to incorporate 3 flip flaps into this. So I am using papers from the Crisp Air collection, and this happens to be from the workshop, the Scrapbook workshop. I did get that. So this is for project 3, and originally I wasn't planning on doing project 3, but as I was looking at my photos and looking at papers, the Crisp Air just worked with the colors in the photos, and then I saw the workshop guide, and layout 3 just lent itself to these photos. So in this layout 3, it has these 2 die cuts that then you layer colored paper underneath. But I wanted to add a little bit more touch of blue, or actually a touch of blue, to this layout in these diagonal stripes. So I just cut my own piece of sapphire, and as you can see, just added it to the back along with those other 4 pieces that came in the kit. And now for me, I find if I put my flat piece, which is a single piece, onto the other, it works better. So I just wanted to show you that. Now this is the right page of the double page layout, and the photos are all from a place called Sandy Pines. My mom and dad bought a place there, I think the first year I was in college. So it's like we went to college and they went to go play, and it's this great seasonal resort community that has like a 700-acre lake, and it has an indoor pool and an outdoor pool, and now it has a water park. At the time they bought in there, it didn't have that. I did some golf carts on the Cricket because you ride bikes or golf cart everywhere. From where my mom and dad's trailer were to the water park is exactly 2.1 miles. So I would take the kids on bikes, and I had one of the pull trailers for my bike, and so I would pedal all the way over there, and it was, it was good exercise and fun. So what this layout is incorporating is the summer of 2012, what the kids enjoyed doing while they were at Grandma's Fun House, because that's what they called this. So under the photos of the kids, I am going to record kind of what their favorite things were. And so on this one, it's about our little guy, Nate. And if you asked him, it would be a toss-up between going to the playgrounds or going to the pool or the beach. He liked the beach, I think, best, other than the whole sand situation, because the beach not only had water, it also had a playground. And now that they added the water park, and it's just a small water park, he likes that as well. Where Daniel, oh gosh, it's all over the board, which would be the first pick. So and here I'm trying to bring in some of the colors from the Crisp Air paper packs on these. It's going to be the underside of the flip flaps, and this is left over from the Hope and Kindness collection, and I thought these wood grain buttons would be perfect for that. But they need to have some thread in them. I know, I think the Scrap Zone, she can't have naked tag holes. I can't have naked buttonholes, so I gotta fill them in. So I'm gonna find some floss here that matches the yellow color in the kit, which I believe is Sundance, and then I will thread the buttons. And I'm not gonna have you watch me thread and tie both of those, so I will cut over here soon to putting glue dots down, and then we can move on with this layout. But just to give you an idea, the floss went through these very easily, and then I just use a glue dot to adhere them to the paper. I like these embellishments. They're a thicker cardboard, but they're not so thick that I feel by putting them in the flip flap that I'm going to add bulk and worry about smashing my photos or getting dents in them. And then I don't know how some other people are so good at just knowing which way to put photos into their flip flaps. I have to kind of practice and audition it every time. So that's what you saw me doing there. Because I'm going to have one flip flap that opens to the right on the right page, and then the other flip flap on the right page will open upwards, and then there'll be a third flip flap on the left page, and that'll open to the left. So it just, again, has balance in how those flip flaps are opening. What I'm doing here is I cut a piece of cardstock, I believe 6 1/4 by 4 1/4, so that it makes a frame around this 6 by 4 flip flap, and I adhered the flip flap right to that. and then I will go ahead and put the other photo that's behind there, and it kind of acts as a frame for that as well. As I was looking at this, I realized the transition between the blue vine background, and then I had brought in some Retire Color Bluebell. So I'm auditioning different colors kind of to make a thin strip or a transition. And this yellow is perfect because there's a yellow in the banner, there's a yellow on the slide, in the photo in the front of the flip flap, and there's also some yellow in the embellishment from the workshop. So here, how I do these thin strips is I go ahead and use my adhesive runner right on the page, lay down my strip, and then trim it off. I'm going to take this time to remind you, or encourage you I should say, to subscribe to this channel, and if you like the video and what you're seeing, give it a thumbs up. That way Facebook will know what kind of content you like, and it'll share with you more of that same style or content. And I just found for me, when I started liking more videos, Facebook was smarter on what it showed me. So just a thought for you. So here I'm going to go ahead and I'm holding my photo behind the flip flap so that I know it's all hidden, and then I lay that onto the base and it glues itself down. And then this photo with in pajamas playing the DS, I wasn't sure if I wanted to frame it. I thought if I put a white frame around it, it was going to be a little too much. And so I ultimately end up deciding not to frame this photo, but the story gets told in the journaling pieces that I put behind the flip flap, excuse me, of on the ropes course. And then this green golf cart, I had to cut the top off of it because my mom had one green golf cart without a cover, and then a second green golf cart with a lid and a cover. And so it was kind of funny when we would go different places. My mom was very specific on, take the green one or take the white one, and she had different reasons for why to take different golf carts to different places. So there's a little bit of pink tone in the Loving This sticker that I'm going to put underneath the golf cart. Couldn't think of my words. I was going to say golf ball. And so I'm going to end up needing to tie that in to somewhere else in the page. But for now, I'm just taking my wheels and I'm going to glue those down. I had thought about if I wanted to add some distressing with either a background stamp or some splatters. And it's funny, this layout to me just screams, it needs to be clean, it needs to have less distractions from the photos, because there's so much going on in the photos and so many different things going on in the photos that I just wanted to, I think, keep the rest of it a little clean. I did make the banner end on the side of this Loving This, and I'm going to push it off the side of the page here just a little bit and trim that just to kind of give some balance again, and it helps anchor where that golf cart is and draws some interest down to that photo without it being framed. And here's where I realized that I need to have more of that pink, and I don't know if that's ballerina or peach cardstock. It was just a scrap that I had actually laying on my desk and it matched, so I used one of the chevron pieces from the workshop and just cut myself my own piece there. You can kind of see where the direction of where this layout is going. It's at this point that I'm starting to get the niggling in my head that the golf cart is too cartoonish. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, you got to look at something else. You don't know what you want to do yet. So I went ahead, and these journaling pieces, by the way, came from a workshop. I believe it was Wonderful, and it coordinated with, I believe, the art booking stamp set or Cricut collection, and then the stamp set from the workshop makes these little composite notebook pages, and I just love the size of them. They're just under 2 inches wide by, I want to say 2 1/4 inches tall. And so I cut a whole sheet of them on the Cricut, and then I used my MISTI so that I could line them up exactly and get the exact colors, and you can see there's a very tiny edge of white around them, because with the Cricut you can get that fine of a cut, which I absolutely love. I did add more of the yellow, and the yellow is actually scraps from the workshop. I think on layout 2 there's like this big sheet of yellow on one side, green on the other, where you fold back the flaps and it makes like squares out of circle cuts. You'd have to see it to know what I'm talking about, but the edge of that paper had this 1/4 inch strips on them with the polka dots, and so I added more of that onto next to the photo in the flip flap, because I cut that photo down to make it a 3x6. There was another person in the photo not doing something very nice, so I needed to trim that down, and you can see there's the other person that was in the original photo, but that one there's no issue for what's on camera. And here I'm going to go ahead and glue down these chevron pieces, and I eliminated one because I thought I would just do the 3, because our eyes, we like 3s, if you know this. And now I'm going to go ahead and glue down the mat and everything, and I realized I did my chevron too far over. So for me, since I already have the flip flap attached to my page, I will cut slits in my page protectors, and I will put a link in the description. I did a video for, I believe, Makers with Heart, and I show you how I prefer to have flip flaps in my albums. I know some people put them right on top of the page protectors. I prefer to cut the slits. And then this again is from that Hope and Kindness collection, along with those 2 wood banners. I'm trying to again get some balance with the wood tones on this layout, and I'm really pleased with the direction it's going. I'm liking that the hearts just kind of naturally presented themselves to me, because the crisp air enamel dots that come with the workshop have hearts in them in all the different colors, so I thought that was just perfect. And then this tag came off the sticker sheet, and I actually think it was used on this layout, so I tucked that in behind my photo there. And again, I too am going to fill in my tag hole, and I just cut a length of the floss and I fold it multiple times, tie it together, kind of making a full tag with lots of ends on it, and then I'll just trim those and let the glue from the sticker kind of hold those in place. And once they're in a page protector, that'll also hold it. Finding some more of that yellow through the sunflower. Again, there's hearts right on the sticker sheet. Like I said, it just, the heart embellishing of this layout just kind of happened. It wasn't planned, and I like when that happens. I like when somebody else has thought ahead that hearts are always good, and include those in the stickers, in the embellishments. So thank you to the designer at Close to My Heart who did that. And I'm trying to get a balance of colors along with a balance of hearts, and not get too crowded. So pleased with how that's going. You can see how those flip flaps work there. Gonna add one more over here on the banners, I think, and then we will move on to the left page. Oh no, this is where I figured out how I wanted to cure that too bright of a golf cart. I went ahead and grabbed the dull green tri-blend marker, and I could have pulled the golf cart off, but instead I'm showing you, and that's why I kept it in there, that I just slipped that Cricut spatula under, so that I knew that I wasn't going to be coloring on any of the pages. So here I'm going to go ahead and dry fit the photos for the left page, and this is one we went to Red Lobster, and my mom picked a live lobster to have. Actually, the kids helped with that, so that was fun. That's a real treat for us. There was not any place to get seafood. We could get a lot of good fish up in the UP, but we couldn't get seafood where we lived in Michigan. So again, I'm going to put that strip on that I salvaged from the workshop scraps. And I think the colors, like I said, in my mom's shirt, she has that dark blue on, and then the lobster is red, of course, and the crisp air just has those same colors. The kids always loved going to Grandma's Fun House because my mom doesn't cook, but she knows all the restaurants. And so every night she would take the kids out to a restaurant. The kids would stay with my mom for a week, sometimes two. Normally it was when the VBS was going, and then it was also in July when we were in the fields haying. So it made it better for the kids because they had something to do and were engaged in fun, and we could be concentrating on being on tractors for 14 and 16-hour days and not have to worry as much about them. So I had cut down the picture of the lobster to a 4x4, and so I needed to fill in the space beside it. And since I filled in the other two flip-flap backs with the bluebell, I wanted to do the same thing on this page. So it's a 2x4, and again, I'm just trying to tie the colors from the stickers and use them. I have, a problem using up embellishments and stickers. I feel like I hoard them. My pages, I can do something different, and so I keep them, and then I keep them so long that they end up getting bent and ruined. So I am finally, after 15 plus years of scrapbooking, I'm finally using my embellishments, and I encourage you, if you have that hang up, use your embellishments. That's what they're for. It's going to make your pages look better. It's going to make scrapbooking more fun, fast. I highly encourage it. And if you don't have this issue and have no idea of what I'm talking about, congratulations. So here I'm slipping that into the page, the flip flap, and I already took the paper off the whole thing for the flap, and then I'll just varnish it down with my folding utensil, my bone folder there. And then again, for adhering this photo, you kind of hold it up against the flip flap so that none of it is going to show when that's closed, and then press it in and you're good to go. Now this title was Harvesting Memories, and that's not, my mom was at Sandy Pines in the summer before harvest happened, so I cut off the harvest part, and then to kind of hide where I had trimmed it off around the flower, I added another flower from the sticker, and then again a heart for the center of the O here. I like that there's now 3 of the chevrons because I cut one of the pink ones, and again the pink flower that I used to cover the cutting on my title will also help give us a triangle between the chevron on the right page and that lovingness that's also on the right page. So now you can see both pages side by side, and I'm adding in the second golf cart here. And I did take artistic license. It's all mostly white with a white cover, but that was just too little interest, so I did make it a white and tan golf cart for the sake of aesthetically pleasing to the eye. And I say that because if my mom is watching, she will be like, it was an all white golf cart. So yes, Mom, but I took artistic license. Have you guys done that of change something that you needed to do that? Here's the done page with all the flip flaps open. It's ready to go in the album. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you haven't connected with me on social media, I'm on Instagram. Facebook is Crafting with Amanda -VIP group. Another reminder to subscribe to my channel and give a thumbs up. Here's another video you may be interested in. And be kind, spread joy. Blessings.